For decades, urban ethnographers have studied neighborhoods by being out on the street and getting to know residents personally. But this is no longer enough to understand young people today. In his new book, The Digital Street, Jeffrey Lane needed to be connected to teenagers in person and online to understand how they experience their neighborhood. By becoming an outreach worker in Harlem and developing relationships with teenagers and the adults in their lives, he found that street life had essentially split along the physical street and the digital street. Online, residents created a staging area to perform street life for each other, creating new forms of engagement in the process. How does the street life of an urban neighborhood move online in the first place? This migration starts with boys and girls and how they use social media to manage their encounters. On the street, boys traditionally made the first move by calling out to girls, who either ignored or engaged them. Today, they also share the same online space. Their first encounters increasingly start on social media, on the digital street, where girls and boys stage and even relocate many of their neighborhood interactions. On the digital street, a first contact usually transpires as a friend request. Acceptance is a start, but might be as far as things get. Sometimes a tie on social media provides the basis for a meeting in person. Other times, it precludes it. Whereas boys on the physical street typically call out to girls in front of their friends, boys on the digital street tend to call out in private with a direct message. Using the inbox feature not only shields boys from public failure when advances go unmet, but also gives the girl the agency to accept or delete the boy without the tension that surrounds such feedback in person. The digitization of boy-girl encounters mitigates certain anxieties. It allows youth to alter the pacing of communication, actively choose their acquaintances, and establish identities that may differ from those in person. But new complications and problems can arise online, especially the pressure on girls to undress for likes, and the fabrication of fake pages by peers, and even the police, for purposes of surveillance. Girls, Lane found, were at the very center of neighborhood networks, and their social media fed a community-level system of communication. The Digital Street, by Jeffrey Lane, examines the street-level experience of Black and Latino teenagers in Harlem and the neighborhood adults and institutions there to help or punish them. By studying the same people in person and online, Lane is able to show how situations start either on the physical street or the digital street, carry through in one location, or move between the two in order to understand how these engagement spaces fit together as street life. This study demonstrates that many of the risks and opportunities we associate with poor urban neighborhoods are mediated through the use of popular technologies like Facebook and Instagram. The ways that youth, community adults, and legal authorities handle these platforms shapes the outcomes of young people and the neighborhood as a whole. The Digital Street updates a classic research tradition for the fact that it's no longer enough to study street life just by being on the corner. Lane has written the first digital urban ethnography and shows why this approach is vital to our understanding of urban minority communities today.